Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Builder's Playthrough. Today we're going to be building some farms. So last episode we spread all this grass, all this moss, all this leafiness in some fields throughout the region, and this is prepping for the big finale of the Farmtasia overhaul. Although another part of this overhaul is to get one of every farm in this village, whether it's automatic or manual. We've done plenty of both, but today we're going to be building an interior for this house, and then we're going to put an automatic melon farm on one side and an automatic pumpkin farm on the other. So let's go ahead and slap an interior down real quick. And there we go. We've got a nice looking interior set up in here. We take a quick walk in the building. We've got a nice little coat rack. Yeah, I got creative. I'm gonna alter that a bit. But anyways, we got a lot of storage around here. This guy is basically a lumberjack. He's on the edge of the village, lives off the berries he picks, chops wood day in, day out. So he has a lot of stuff stored up in here. He's a bit of a messy person and likes to have clutter, including extra wood, storage crates, and he just has a bed wherever it's most convenient. He could just run on in, jump into bed, and take a little nap. And then we have the date where we made our farm up there, as well as pumpkins and melons up. And with that being said, let's go ahead and build the farm. I'm just going to be building a single level farm on this upper layer, and it's going to be half melons, half pumpkins. I really just want something that's going to work well enough for us. We don't need a ton of it, but I am wanting just a small farm, so if we ever want to build a pumpkin or a melon field, we have something that, we can get started with. So let's go ahead and build the farm. We have an automatic half melon, half pumpkin farm, and I'm not too worried about having a million of either because we're not going to be using this to trade with villagers. It's more so if we want to build any fields, I have a little bit to start planting. And, even if we want a ton of stuff, I can organize my ender chest, I can do stuff in the area while that runs. Now that we have the melons and pumpkins taken care of, I want to go ahead and make a honey and honeycomb farm. The original idea was to build a cellar down here and to build a honey and a honeycomb farm. But since then I've realized those farms work best in the nether because it's considered daytime all the time there. So we're going to go ahead and build one on the other side of our nether portal, which is in here located right past our automatic wool farm. The wool farm's been running in the background and we're starting to get quite a bit of wool throughout these episodes, and this is going to come in handy because I build with it a lot. But let's go ahead into the nether and find somewhere to put our bee farm. So the best spot for the honey farm was bound to be right outside the nether portal. It was a flat area, so I ended up bringing it down a couple blocks. Having the farm a little lower will help protect the bees from stuff like ghasts and other mobs in the nether. After this, I followed a redstone guide because, as many of you know if you've been around here for a while, I'm not good with redstone. So I learned how to make the farm. Yes, it's bad. Yes, I had to fix it, and you'll probably see that in the video. But it produces insane results at the end, so I call that a win. After I finally finished the redstone mechanics, I went back in with some leaves, some mossy stone, and we decorated the place so it's not just a netherrack shell, but it actually looks like a greenhouse of some sort, because we are building a farm in our farming city, so I wanted to at least look the part. Now I'm gonna sit here for about 30 minutes and see just how much honeycomb and honey bottles we can gather up, minus what we've already collected. Alright guys, so it's been about 30 minutes. I've been not AFK because I've been breeding the bees up, but I haven't interfered with the farm itself at all. The only issue would be that we may not have an accurate count of how much it produces, just due to the fact that I had to breed the bees up to fill up the honey bottle side. But even with that being done, I made a good amount of honey bottles, and we made a lot more honeycomb. So in the end, I think this farm was successful. Let's go ahead and head back to the village though. Alright guys, now we're back in the village as you can see, and we've got a couple things around the village I want to add. The first one being this retaining wall right here. I love it. I love it to death, and I want to throw a couple more just around the village, some smaller, some about this size, and I just want it to look kinda like there was once a wall around the village, and it's been very broken down, taken over by nature. In the end, I think it's going to add to the overall vibe of the village and kind of draw a line where the village will end and wilderness will begin. So let's go ahead and get the walls and retaining areas built up for the village, And in the meantime, I want to talk about next episode. So, next episode, we have a big plan coming in. It's going to be a big, long episode. It's going to take a bit longer to make than usual, so I apologize if there's a bit of a delay in videos, but we're going to be putting a world tree into our farming village. It's going to mark the grand center of the town. It's going to be like a landmark for our world, and I want each of my cities to have one defining feature. For Havenbrook City, it's that it's massive, and it has a really cool castle with both red and blue tones in it. For Farmtasia here, it's going to be our giant world tree. It's also going to add a little bit of lore, as we're going to build an interior through the trunk, and put a little sage that lives inside there. Just a little bit of lore, you know, we gotta throw it in there like the lumberjack's house from earlier. But with that being said, it's gonna take a really long time to gather all the materials for my world tree, so I'm gonna be streaming over on Twitch and gathering all of those materials up. But we're gonna be gathering a total of 36,000 leaves. This is gonna be azalea leaves, birch leaves, and oak leaves. If you're in my Discord, you've probably seen a picture of the schematic because I couldn't help myself and I had to show it off a bit. But the leaves are going to be very diverse. There's going to be highlighting, shading. It's going to look amazing. But the trunk is going to be made completely out of mangrove logs. This poses an issue as I don't have a wood farm and I don't plan on building one. So I'm going to be gathering about an additional 30,000 mangrove logs by hand. So if you're wondering why the next episode takes so long, that's probably the reason. But that said, I think we've done enough for today, and I need to start gathering some more leaves and mangrove wood for our series-ending project, the World Tree. So, if you guys have enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.